Welcome back to Tools and Track, and this a very long overdue update to that. For those of you who tuned in last week, you'll note that we're in a lovely new unit. Great. That doesn't, however, push any progress on this whatsoever, other than the fact that I can now walk around it. So it is time to get back on it. Step one, we've got to finish this chassis off. So that means we need to flip it. What better way to kickstart this project off than by getting a welding session on? I've been putting off this underside welding for a long time, and it's montage worthy. You'll notice here that I'm putting a lot of easy to access welds on the top. I will have to flatten these back because at some point we're going to have to stick a floor over the bottom of this, and these little seam welds are probably going to protrude a bit. So we'll get the angle grinder out in a minute. In the meantime, it's time to focus on these tricky, hard to reach welds, and I'm going to wish I was half the size that I am right now. But this is all great material to add to a montage, which is now finished. So what's next then? Nothing. Follow me. The big Bible of bollocks for us is more or less finished. Now, all this does tell you really is how to build the chassis, suspension, everything that's involved with metal. After that, it's glass fibre, and you're either A, back to the Haynes/Chapman manual that shows you how to make up bucks and crazy glass fibre moulds and stuff. And I'll be honest, A, I've not been involved with that. B, I don't think it's going to be very cost effective to attempt it, bugger it up and then admit defeat, bearing in mind we're trying to build this car for £1,000. And C, well, this project's pretty far behind as it is. So, let's skip ahead a few steps. Easy. Essential iron brew, essential radio station, and mechanical loader has some essential reading. Now we just need to wait for mechanical loader to arrive. The time is currently 6:38.
I've brought some essentials.
Excellent.
So we have charger, lightning, adapter for 12 volt DC.
Also,
Nice. So you've got it.
don't worry though, we have multiple of these around about the van.
One FM radio transmitter.
Thank God, I'm already sick of Heart FM.
Short drive down
Just
across
a quick,
the border.
a quick nip down the road.
Hi! You join us in the Tools and Track Van of Doom. We are in Englandshire, specifically on Britain's Route 66, the A66, which is just like Route 66 except
Yes, this is the driving position for transits for any of our American brethren.
well, no, it isn't, because if you look out the front window, we aren't an inch off the car in front, but we're about to be. We are on our way in this lovely vehicle, which is actually really impressive.
I've got to be honest, it's one of the newer transits. It's obviously had a bit of a life, but it's not the worst. I'm about to pull a John Candy in Planes, Trains and Automobiles here, and try and take this thing off without stopping the vehicle, which goes a bit like this. Oh, that's nice, all that traffic. There we go. So yes, we're on our way to Englandshire, more specifically Cambridge. So this trip is going to be 360 miles in each direction, which again to our American brethren might not seem a lot, but as you can see we are currently doing 40 miles an hour. So you've got two main roads. You've got the M6, which takes you from pretty much London to Glasgow, and you've got the A1. One goes up the west coast of the UK and one goes up the east. The A66 links the two of them, and because we are going to be going to the southeast of England, we're going to nip across and join the A1 using this road here. We are at our first pit stop. This is Scotch Corner. Hello. I'll take this off now because we're no longer needing to be COVID friendly. Yes, we have done a pit stop we have ingested some Greggs, again for our American brethren, of which I don't know, there's probably about 3 in total. Greggs is a staple baked food supplier of the UK. I have had a sausage, bean and cheese pasty, basically. That will rush out at me in about 40 to 45 minutes, thus necessitating our next stop. Gary Locost had a healthier approach though. What did you have?
I went for a croissant and a healthy salad baguette thing, chiefly because I don't want to be shitting my brains out in the services, and worse, having to halt progress on our journey today. So we have had just enough to keep us going. We're now going to get back into the magic van. Look at it, it's magnificent to behold with its iron brew bottle.
Its splendour is matched only by its filth.
And we continue our voyage. We are now just south of York.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. We've got the Yorkshire time.
We are 2 hours and 20 minutes from our destination.
Our ETA is 12:30. And what's this weather all about now? I thought the south got nice weather. This is not nice weather.
This is the darkness. The reason nothing happens in Britain in a hurry. 120 minutes ago, and this is the first instance of roadworks. So what they've done here is 200 yards ahead of a motorway on ramp, they've then took the lane down to one, which is cracking. So we have sat for 15 minutes in near enough stationary traffic, just so that, let's be honest people, f***ing idiots can merge and turn. Not once in my entire life, I should point out, have I ever managed to get from one end of the country to another without having to stop in a motorway.
And let's see what they're doing.
Well, they've got it part of
They've
this truck
shut.
here.
Oh wow, okay.
We've went down to one lane for safety. So far we have a mile, from what I can see, of nothing happening at all. But you want to start obviously this one lane as close to as possible where all of these lanes merge so that everyone's delayed in advance. Now we are charging along here at
some miles an hour.
50 mile an hour. That's a 50 zone, I promise. And I've not yet come across a single f***ing person on the road doing anything. So this is good, isn't it?
Hello comrades, you join us in a petrol station. Thomas is dieseling.
Give us a minute, mate. Now it's time to see how big this tank is.
This is exciting TV.
Kill someone, can't just pull in like that.
Okay, it got more exciting. You join me once again in a services Burger King. However, this time it's not relating to an NC MX-5, it's relating to an NB MX-5.
Also this time we're allowed to sit in and eat because slight restrictions and slight lifting of restrictions. So that's good. One thing that hasn't changed though in the past 12 months is these are still This is our 10 of our fantastic voyage. We're going to finish this, stretch legs a wee bit just to keep the DVT at the bay, and then we're going to start the final leg of the journey, which should be just under 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So, we are now going back to the van. And apart from a spot of rain, we've got a pretty positive bit of progress going on here. So we're at Scotch Corner again, but this time we're on the way back, and we've got a van full of wind. So we're at that point of the journey, the final dying embers where our arse's hurt, we smell less than ripe, and we really just need a sign, something to say is, you know, home is coming. And I'm pretty sure, as everyone who has watched the show will know, there's only one place these pair of fat, ginger bearded Scotsmen can really call home, and that feeling comes when you see this sign. Well, that was a long trip, but we've made it back, and I'm pretty sure by now you're wanting to know what's in the back of the van.
Yes.
Well, stay tuned because next week on Tools and Track, we're... Alright, one more show you. Let's bring it in.
Do we really need a van for this? Oh. I'm still not sure we really needed a van.
Start to see where the van thing came from.
Next up, the scuttle panel.
What?
Fits perfectly.
Oh no.
Oh my, as George Takei would say.
Now this is why I wanted to get this kit just now. Right, we'll come back to that.
Not bad.
It's on.
Guess it's in the way.
Well, we knew that was going to give us some fun.
So, do you want to give me a grinder and I'll chop that out now?
No! This is what we just brought back in the van. Yes? Just follow my lead. Genuine carbon. So, the fat bit goes in the bottom.
Yeah, that's the way. I mean,
Right.
the mounts for your arms are in the way, but other than that, it's fabulous.
No. Okay. Right, let's see how we did.
It does look the tits.
This suddenly is starting to really resemble a car now. But that does not mean it doesn't have some issues.
Yeah, there are a few. Chiefly, the scuttle panel doesn't fit.
Well, we know that, and this, like I said,
This guy basically.
yeah, as soon as I put that in and then looked at pictures of other Locosts, I did start to realise that we're probably going to have some problems. And that's why I thought, let's put a pause in any further major chassis works and just get a body, just to make sure that this is all going to work.
And it just so happened that I conveniently brought you a broken MX-5 to fill the gap.
Convenient. I should almost thank you for that.
Yes.
What we've also found is now that I have a body, there are some differences. So what is this body? Well, this is from a Westfield SE. It's a normal sized length and width Lotus 7 chassis. Clearly though, it is not. What are some differences that I'm already finding now that we put it on?
Well, this guy is probably quite relevant. The other end of the arm is here.
Yeah, so that could probably move a bit further back though, and there's a bit of a chance for poking. That doesn't line up, I'll grant you, but neither does the back. It probably could do a little bit further back. But let's not get hung up on that too much. I've got plenty of other problems to identify on the front. You'll probably note that this is actually bowing quite a bit and not fully in. Clearly, my chassis height is more than that of a Westfield. So that's going to be a problem. We're clearly about 5 or 10 millimetres out. I'm higher than a Westfield is, so nothing's actually going over at the moment. So I maybe need to look at some way to address that. The nose cone, I will say, is more or less perfectly fitting. My aftermarket mounts, obviously, don't quite line up. But the good thing there is, I need to take glass fibre off. I'm not left with a big gap, so we can tweak that. That's good. These carbon fibre side panels, I don't know if we're going to get away with that. There's no real way to stretch that out and get it to fit, but I'll give it my best shot and see what it will feel like. The bonnet, well, the good news there is that more or less lines up to the angles and everything. It's a flat thing it needs to rest on. As long as it matches up with the nose cone, we're not going to have problems. This steering bracket that I have made is, well,
hopeless.
Not hopeless, but it's fouling everything. There is a logic to my madness in putting it on here though. I'm a fat-shoed, fat-legged man. I want as much clearance under here for me as I can possibly get. And if that means we need to nibble out a few things and make the glass fibre fit over what I've got, so be it, we'll work with that. Moving on to the sides, again, as we discussed, I am clearly quite a bit out on my heights on the chassis. We're going to have to come back to that in some way. Now, another reason why I wanted to get this, every single low-cost Caterham, Westfield, you name it, will always have this curved profile. That cannot be left unreinforced. We have to make up a curved length of steel that will support this. Now, these always vary, there's always a bit of a wiggle room in it. I wanted to make sure it matched whatever tub we put on the back. Ergo, the tub comes now. Let's move further back. You'll notice that this end of the chassis is now a good foot and a bit away from where the end of the car is. Again, I could have adapted anything and made a whole load of back end to fit, but if we're just going to go with the Westfield one and use it, the good news is I'll just build the rest of the chassis out to meet that, make a tank fit, and we'll be golden. So,
I've got an easy solution to fix all the problems. Just make a new chassis that's a wee bit lower.
Where do we go from here? We're going to have to adapt and fine tweak the body as well to fit the chassis. So there's going to be a lot of nibbling and a lot of bits and pieces we can go with. But now that I have this body, we can do that. The problem here though, and the big one, is the cost. We have had to put a bit of expenditure out to get this. I'm glad to say, because it's not brand new and it's come off a car that's getting various changes, we got it cheap enough.
From a very cool guy.
He was pretty sound. He does lots of car stuff and paint stuff. I can't remember his name, sorry. But because he didn't give me a discount, I'm not going to tell him anyway. So, it did cost us 500 of the Queen's heads.
Yes.
That's not a small amount of money.
But not a small amount of body.
No, that's true. We've got just about every bit of glass fibre we're going to need for this, but the building a car for £1,000, it's shot.
It was never going to happen.
We've just tippled over the grand mark on this, so I think at this point we need to accept it was a bold target. If we had infinite amount of time and I had infinite amount of not having to do a day job, we probably could have made all this from scratch and everything, but this will keep the project moving. And critically, if you're ever building a car, you've got to keep the project moving. Now that we've got all of this, I will do a tally in the next episode.
That'll be a wheeler dealer style tally without the labour hours counted.
Or the tools, or the raw materials.
Or welding gas.
Yeah, we'll skip all of that nonsense. But for now, we are both absolutely wrecked. I have been on, this is our what, 20? Aye, it's time for bed. Thanks for watching guys, thanks for sticking with this immense journey. Next time we will be back with more Locost. I will start getting a bit more progression on the frame with a view to finishing it. And we might even chuck the engine back in, who knows. I don't know, we'll work it out. But in the meantime, cheers for subscribing, all our Patreons who are flipping up the side of the list now. Thank you very much for the support. If you've not done it already, patreon.com/toolsandtrack and help a brother out. And until the next time guys, thanks for watching, see you later. Oh, make up, it's time to go home.